Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday, June 11th, and a little over a week away from starting Lyle's tour. And I'm looking forward to it. 5 o'clock Pacific time, I'm going to be shooting the shit with Vicky Abelson. It's always fun talking to her, and we'll have a great time. And that'll be on her page. And I'm also incredibly sad. Just heard that Brian Wilson had passed away. I posted a thing on my Facebook page about I had done an album with Brian called Orange Crate Art with Van Dyke Parks and Brian, and it was such a treat to work with this guy. I mean, our paths had crossed many times over the years, and I'd worked with Carney and them on stuff. So I've known the family, and it saddens me that he's gone. This guy left one hell of a legacy, a remarkable, talented musician. So it's a lot of that Sly Stone, and then now Brian. It's like, God, it's rough. It's rough losing them. But I'm going to do some uplifting music today. And this one for me is really special. This is Bryn Haworth. Now, back in the late 60s, 68, 69, I was in a band, I've talked about it many times, called Wolfgang in Los Angeles. And it was in that band that I met James Taylor at one of our rehearsals when he came to a rehearsal with John Fishbeck, who was friends with Bugs Pemberton, who was our drummer. And that kind of completely changed my life because James remembered me from this rehearsal. And when he got his first gig at the Troubadour and they needed a bass player, they called me, and it was like one of these things. I thought I was playing one show and it turned into the rest of my life. And so much of this, of what I've experienced for the last over half a century, really came out of my being in this band Wolfgang with Bryn. So I'm going to read some bio here, and it was really great. He called me a while back, contacted me because he lives in England, and he contacted me a while back and asked if I could play on a new song for him, and it was thrilling to do something with Bryn again. I mean, it had been half a century since we've done anything together, and so it was great. I saw Bryn a few years back, I think when I was with Judith Owen over in England, and Bryn and his wife Sally came to the gig, and we got a chance to catch up a little bit there. But it was great to play on his music again. So I'm going to read this to you. If I don't make eye contact, it's because I'm reading a bio right above my phone here. Bryn Haworth, born 29th of July 1948, is a British Christian singer, songwriter, guitarist, and pioneer in Jesus music in mainstream rock. Born in Blackbird, Lancashire, England, he has released some 22 albums and several singles since the 1970s, as well as guesting as guitarist on many other albums by rock and folk artists. He continues to tour the UK, appearing mostly at smaller venues, Christian centers, and at prisons, which is a really amazing part of his career. He's also appeared 3 times at the UK Greenbelt Festival. His chosen instrument, including guitar, particularly slide or bottleneck guitar, and mandolin. He's recorded sessions for the John Peel Show on BBC Radio in 74, 75, and 76, and made 2 television appearances on BBC's BBC Two's The Old Grey Whistle Test. It was so funny. I was just talking to Bob Harris the other day, who the Old Grey Whistle Test was his show. And he's still at it. We just got together when I was in England for the premiere of our immediate family documentary, so Old Grey Whistle Test. And also in the 70s, Haworth appeared on the weekly ITV television show Pop Gospel, presented by Bernie Flint. Together with his wife Sally, Haworth has engaged in extensive musical and evangelical work in prison settings. Haworth has his own website and is featured in the current Cross Rhythms artist catalog. Early years. I'm going to read about him because Bryn really was a major part of my life, and I really want to share him with you. Bryn was born, like I said, and was brought up in the nearby town of Darwin. His father was a math teacher, and he attended secondary school where his father taught Darwin Technical College. His main musical influence, however, was his mother, who would often buy the latest 78 releases by artists such as Elvis Presley, Jackie Wilson, and Little Richard, as well as classical records. At the age of 11, Haworth obtained his first guitar and attended lessons in classical guitar for a year. Contemporary musical influences included guitar-based groups such as the Ventures and the Shadows. While still at school during the era of the Mersey beat groups such as the Beatles, Haworth began playing guitar himself in various local groups, including the Mustangs, the Railroaders, and Mike Taylor Combo. His first job upon leaving school was at a local paper mill, but his band playing activities led to his dismissal. Haworth later recalled, "I couldn't get up in the morning as I'd been out late the previous night playing in a band, and so something had to give." At 17, Haworth left Lancashire for London with only a suitcase and a guitar and ended up sleeping rough at Victoria bus station. He eventually met up with members of the band Winder K. Frog and was able to sleep on the floor in the house that the band shared. His earlier works, within 6 months of his arrival in London, Haworth joined the Fleur-de-Lis, a Motown soul psychedelic band, that sounds great, which became the house band for Atlantic Records in England, and whose members included bassist Gordon Haskell and pianist Peter Sears. As house band for Atlantic, Fleur-de-Lis recorded albums with such artists as Isaac Hayes, Dave Porter, and Barney Kessel. '68 saw Haworth providing guitar backing for Sharon Tandy on singles Hold On, Daughter of the Sun, Gotta Get Enough Time, Lookin' Fine, Love Is Not a Simple Affair, Stay With Me, Somebody Speaks Your Name, Our Day Will Come. There's so many here. The band had a residence at London's Speakeasy Club. I remember the Speakeasy Club. And on one occasion, Haworth enjoyed a jam session playing Red House on stage with Jimi Hendrix. And he goes back. He's a piece of history. For a time, Tandy and Haworth were a couple. When Fleur-de-Lis folded, Haworth traveled to California. In '69, he met American musician Lee Stevens, who had just left the acid band Blue Cheer. And in parentheses, it says in the Guinness Book of Records at the time, as Blue Cheer was the loudest band in the world. He toured extensively in the U.S. as guitarist in various American bands, including the Jackie Lomax Band and Wolfgang, with Lee Stevens and managed by the legendary Bill Graham, who named the band after his own original Polish name, appearing with such artists as Led Zeppelin, Jefferson Airplane, Taj Mahal, Grateful Dead, and the Moody Blues. And that was our period together with Wolfgang. Bryn eventually moved to Woodstock in upstate New York, working again with Jackie Lomax on his second and third albums. It was in Woodstock Bryn met his future wife, Sally. Returning to the UK in '73, Bryn lived with Sally in a remote cottage in North Wales before being signed to Island Records, with whom he made his debut solo album, Let the Days Go By. A further album for Island, Sunny Side of the Street, was recorded in 1974. He then continued his career as a solo recording artist with A&M Records, with whom he recorded Grand Arrival in Nashville with J.J. Cale's producer, Audie Ashworth, and Keep the Ball Rolling. During this period, he made numerous radio and TV appearances and toured extensively in the UK and Europe, supporting such artists as Traffic, Bad Company, Gallagher, and Lyle Fairport Convention. His prowess as a guitarist was recognized by Alex Corner, who played Bryn's records on his wonderfully eclectic BBC program. In 1974, this was a big change for him. Haworth and his wife Sally became Christians, and their life-changing experience brought a strong gospel influence into his music. His later work, Haworth has recorded with a number of well-known musicians, including Chris de Burgh, Joan Armatrading, Ian Matthews, and Jerry Rafferty. He has also toured as part of the band with Cliff Richards. In '89 to '92, Haworth worked with the Southwest London Vineyard, developing worship and prison ministry and leading worship at many UK conferences. He continues to travel extensively, performing concerts, both solo and with a band, as he leads seminars and guitar clinics throughout the world in a wide variety of venues, including concert halls, colleges, churches, and prisons. Haworth also has a a long songwriting pedigree and has had several of his compositions recorded by other artists, including Lulu, Sandy Denny, and Mary Black. He made a brief UK tour in September of '97 with a lineup with Bryn on vocals and guitar, Jeff Hamer on guitar, Terry Comer on bass, and Harry Spinetti on drums. He's recorded 10 further albums, including songs and hymns, which was recorded at Fairport Conventions, Woodworm Studios in Oxfordshire. The CD Water from the Rock is a compilation of faith tracks and was first released on Howard's own new label, Bella Music Limited. A long-awaited CD of brand new songs, Keep the Faith, was released in 2005. And it just continues on here a little bit farther. I'll just read a little bit more. Howard's latest albums, released in August of 2010, are One-Way Ticket and Inside Out, both on Bella Music. One-Way Ticket is a mix of 12 brand new songs and instrumentals. Inside Out is a compilation for prison inmates with 6 new songs plus half a dozen tracks from previous albums, which are particularly relevant for them. The recordings were made between January and March of 2010 at the ICC Studios in Eastbourne and were mixed in early June. Neil Costello is co-producer. The other musicians included Henry Spinetti on drums, Dave Bronze on bass, Mark Edwards on keyboards, and Mal Pope on backing vocals. There's also guest appearances by well-known harmonica player Paul Jones on the title track, One-Way Ticket album. In December of 2018, he uploaded the instrumental Blue Jumper to his YouTube channel. In May 2019, collaborated with filmmaker Nigel Walk, and he launched his latest single and video project, Enough Is Enough, which was written in response to my Tree Matters campaign, speaking out against indiscriminate felling of trees. Thank you, Bryn. It's really great. In September of 2020, Bryn Haworth released a new album, Peace and Understanding, and in September of 2021, another title, Ready or Not. In March of 24, Haworth re-recorded the song All I Need Is a Home, originally recorded for his '74 debut album, Let the Days Go By, and produced a video with international film director Nigel Walk to help raise awareness of homelessness. A sample of Haworth's work together with a list of forthcoming concert dates may be found on his MySpace music page. A 2003 review, The Gap album, concluded, he's largely unknown, but for those who follow virtuosos know about this guy. Interesting, John Ingham for Sounds music paper wrote, if we are to have rock god, then let it be Bryn Haworth. He thinks of the music foremost, you owe yourself to listen. So this is great. I mean, it's just, there's so much. Bryn was really, because the original Wolfgang was Bryn Haworth and Randy Zacuto, who at the time was going by Israel Zacuto. He's changed his name back and forth, on guitar and vocals, Bugs Pemberton on drums, Kevin Kelly on keyboards, myself on bass, and Rick Lancelot on vocals. And I still got demos that we cut back then. And to me, it's still one of the best bands I've ever been in. And my heart's always with all those guys. Rick is no longer with us. I haven't talked to Kevin in many years. We lost Bugs to cancer a number of years back. So, it's all just in my heart and soul and memory at this point. So I am going to grab a little more information for you. And hold on, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this track now for you. It's really turned out great. He just sent it to me, so I really wanted to share this with you. And this is a track called Joined at the Heart. And this is Bryn Haworth, my dear old friend Bryn Haworth. So here we go. They were always together. Just got along. Been that way forever. The love was so strong. Some said it's not healthy. They're never apart. But it
the same. No matter what voices try to tear us apart, we're better together, joined at the heart. They've had their fair share of troubles in life, walking down the same road through all the hard times. She called him dearest, and he called her sweetheart. They were always together, joined at the heart. Some say it's destiny, some call it fate. But when all this is over, only love will remain. No matter what voices we hear in the dark, we're better together, joined at the heart. It's always better together, joined at the heart. They're always together, they just get along.
Beautiful lyric, beautiful sentiment. Let me see if I can find some more info for you. Okay, he wrote to me on this, Joined at the Heart. Hi, Lee, we finally got there. Track info besides yourself is Henry Spinetti on drums, Mel Pope on background vocals, Neil Costello on electric guitar, and me on guitar, slide guitar, mandolin, and vocals. Hope you like it. Much love, Bryn. I like it a lot, Bryn. I love you, my brother. And my heart, my thoughts are with you. Hopefully, maybe next time when I come back to the UK, we can find an opportunity to get together and break bread. And it would be really wonderful to see you again. And check Bryn out. He's got his sites, and it's Haworth, Bryn is his first name, Haworth. So I'm going to get going. Lots going on. I've had plumbers here all morning fixing things, and I'm going to run some errands, and then I'll be back later this afternoon to join Vicki Abelson on her podcast, and then I'm doing a show tomorrow with Steve Postel, and just gearing up towards next week, hitting the road for quite a while. This next leg and what we got left with Lyle is pretty extensive, so we're all pretty excited about getting back together again. So for the moment, all my best wishes. I'm just going to leave it at that right now. Bryn, thank you for sending this. Really great. Bye.